Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here, friends. This video is for all our Genomic viewers, and I want to report that today S&P 500 and Nasdaq I think ended way better than I would have expected. If you had asked me in the morning after looking at the weekend drop in the futures, I was thinking that it was going to be really nasty, but I think somehow we have managed to stabilize, and S&P 500 ended up being somewhere almost close to neutral, and post-market now it has already become a little bit positive. If you look at Nasdaq again, Nasdaq also managed to end up in the positive. I'm going to shift to a one-day time frame so that we can talk about the overall status. Okay, we have got everything sorted out here. Let's look at S&P 500. As you can see, today we opened very low, but rapidly we went back on the way to the resistance that we had, and our resistance at that time was 4,967.76. We broke through it and we went all the way up, almost crossing two other resistances, but managed to close just below yesterday's close. To that extent, I think even though there was a valiant effort by bulls, the bears prevailed because we are still bearish. We have created a new lower low. So that's one point I would like to say. The second interesting point is that we have managed to bounce off a very important line of support, and therefore I am thinking that tomorrow we will have a chance probably of opening above this line of support and testing this resistance. If we succeed in testing this resistance, we'll test the next one, or else we'll come back down and we'll test this support again, and if we fail from this support, then we continue our journey downwards. Now all of these can be influenced by any news that comes from the White House regarding the tariffs, and there could be potentially a whole lot of catalysts during the day. So I'm expecting that in the absence of any catalyst, the markets will move sideways, and when the catalysts arrive, depending on whether they are positive or negative, we may move up or down. So that's my expectation overall. Let us look at Nasdaq. And if you look at the Nasdaq charts, you can see that we opened low and then we went back up again. We went beyond where we opened yesterday, but we rapidly came back down. So bulls made a lot of effort out here. But the one positive thing is that we ended up closing above yesterday's close. So to that extent, this is a very good positive. And also another big positive is a key resistance was overcome and converted into a support. So this support here at 17,160.23 is a significant support, and I'm really glad that we ended up staying above that. And I think that the potential of a rebound is still there. It's not going to be a full recovery, but on the way down, most of the graphs always have a little bit of up and then a down. So we are now coming to a stage where we'll have a little bit of a up before we come down again. Let's look at QQQ. The way QQQ performed was also amazing. If you recollect, yesterday I had mentioned that this is the important support line, and there is a whole lot of support below this, and we should manage to stay above that, and we did exactly that. We opened up well inside this area, but then we bounced back, but still we have managed to convert the upper portion of this into a resistance. I can't just mark that red, so I'm going to leave it there for now. But our MACD momentum, everything is very negative. So potentially we could get another bump, and then we may either come back down, push down by this minor line of resistance at 424.03, failing which we'll have another resistance at 434.81, and both of them are going to try and push us back down because we are still in a bearish trend at this point of time. Wix also managed to scale new heights, and at the day open, it had already gone to 60.27 and was on the way back when the markets opened, and it has managed to stay above yesterday's close. So that's again another big aspect to keep in mind. We are more volatile now than we were yesterday, and put call ratio is bearish. And gold also has lost a lot of value. It's down 1.83. It's on top of this support out here. It managed to bounce off this support, but we'll have to wait and see what happens further. The moment it bounces off here, then its resistance is going to be somewhere around 3,107.262. So that's what I expect for gold. And XLP managed to stage a little bit of a recovery, but the fact remains that it opened way below and it has closed way below yesterday's close, so it's still bearish. So this is something we need to watch for the longer term. After that, I think I'll like to go directly into genomics and talk to you about genomics. Let us see what we have here. DNA, Ginkgo Bioworks is up 15.08%. All these movements are purely sentiment-based movements, in my opinion. I don't see that there is any new information available in the market for Ginkgo Bioworks to warrant this kind of a jump. Sangamo is up 7.68%. If you had not seen my video on Sangamo, you go ahead and have a look. They have adeno-associated virus strain that they have developed, which they call stack BBB, where BBB stands for blood-brain barrier. It's always been difficult to penetrate the blood-brain barrier and deliver therapy into the brain in order to cure diseases. And one of the most dangerous ones in there is HIV, which manages to get into the blood-brain barrier and starts residing in the brain. So when therapy is given to those patients, the therapy may clear out all the virus in their body, but the moment the medicine is stopped, the virus comes back again, and it comes back because it's hiding in the brain and it remains untouched out there. So that's one potential application which can have a big dollar figure earning for the company. And there's a company called Excision Bio, which is developing one of these therapies, which is a gene editing therapy, and it had done well in initial tests, but it had a problem with the vector that was carrying it because adequate penetration was not achieved. They could probably use this stack BBB, and Eli Lilly has also signed up with them for almost more than $1 billion worth of revenue based on performance, and signed up for 5 targets using this vector. So that's the reason why Sangamo has gone up. Next, look at Grail. Grail is up 7.75%. Let us see if there is any news. There is no news as such to promote Grail out here. PACB also has had a jump of 7.32, entirely sentiment based. I do not see any new news out here to warrant this kind of a jump. And then let us look at IMTX. IMTX had a gain of 6.00. mRNA had a gain of 2.11. ArcG had a gain of 1.05. It manages to pierce this resistance out here at 19.57, and it's immediately pushed back, and it took the support of 17.74, and this is the range in which it will operate for tomorrow as well. Iowa was up 1.00%, but it didn't cross this diagonal line of resistance. Beam Therapeutics was up 0.20%, and it managed to stay above the support of 15.01, even though it opened very low this morning. Vertex was down 0.01%, still firmly below this diagonal line of resistance, and I can start imagining that it's starting to create a new bear channel unless it starts creating any higher lows. So I'm going to watch this carefully. Maybe it's a turning point out here. Then if you look at Allogene, it's down 0.69%, but managing to stay above the line of support of 1.35. And for tomorrow, the resistance is going to be the diagonal line of resistance at 1.43. CRISPR Therapeutics was down 0.83%, and it managed to stay above 31.15, which is our support, and it was pushed down by the diagonal line of resistance at 34.07. For tomorrow, our resistance is going to be 33.95, and our support is going to be 31.21. Illumina was down 0.90%, and it managed to fall below this support out here at 74.09, which now becomes a resistance for it. And Intelia was down 1.30%, still staying below the existing resistance. Caribou was down 1.32%, still in the same zone of resistance. Editas was down 2.91%. Unicure was down 2.23%. Bluebird Bio was down 3.64%. Altimmune was down 6.13%. One of the bigger losers is Altimmune, but it's a candle of indecision out here. Prime was down 7.80%, and Verve was down 7.73%. So overall, this is where we left the entire genomic watch list, and I'm thinking that these are really tough times for genomics. Any gains that you get, it's a blessing. It can be snatched anytime, so just be careful out there. And with that, I would like to end this video here. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.